Well, since we've come this far on your journey to finding and defining your niche, one of the last things that I just want to say to you is firstly, I do believe that it's some of the most important work that you will ever do on your business. And I have said on numerous occasions that finding and defining your niche is very much a journey and not a destination. My niche has definitely developed and evolved over time. And as my knowledge has kind of, become more and more specialized. So not everyone finds their niche first go. It's kind of, you get a little bit closer to where you need to get to, and patterns start to emerge. You will start to notice and observe things a little bit more closely. And certainly at a subconscious level, your brain is now starting to work on this, on finding, defining your niche. But what we know from neuroscience is that the reasons why it is important as a business and an entrepreneur to do this work is because our clients' minds don't like three things. Firstly, they don't like clutter. So that's why we actually need to very carefully declutter our message and get so clear about communicating what we want to communicate with our clients. The second thing that our brains, our potential clients' brains don't like, our brains as well, is that we don't like messages that take too long to decode. So again, simplicity is the key and the rule. And we also don't want to get too clever about what we say and how we say it, because we might actually lose our potential clients in the process. So really, I want to encourage you to keep things as simple and as basic as possible, and to say straight out what it is that you do without trying to be clever or unique, too unique or inventive in terms of the way that you describe yourself. I'll never forget coming across somebody who wanted to connect with me on LinkedIn, and she described herself as a thanophyletic dendrophile. And I'd actually never, I have to admit, heard the words before. And this was on her LinkedIn profile, her professional profile, for her to try and get clients. And what it did was it sent me straight to the dictionary to look it up. And actually, the way I describe myself is just a very different way of her, of how she describes herself. So, and I must be honest, I've forgotten who it was. I would have to search through my connections to find out. So that's how unmemorable that very, very complicated message was. But here's what it means, and it's something that I've been using as part of my introductory message for a long time. I describe myself as a dog-loving, tree-hugging marketing and business coach. So a dendrophile is a tree lover. A cynophilist is a dog lover. But, why complicate things when we know that our potential clients' brains are looking for something that is quick and easy to digest, to understand and decide whether or not they actually want to work with it or, work with us. And the third thing is that our brains are attuned to being able to create order and to categorize easily. So we really don't want to give them this huge puzzle, this huge message they've got to puzzle their way through in order to try and organize where we would fit into kind of their world or their space, that they want to make an immediate association with us. And so we don't want to make it too complicated or difficult for them to puzzle out how we can serve them. So I said before that your niche is like a beautiful golden thread or a pattern that runs through the work that you do. And my own personal breakthrough in doing some of this work and actually transitioning to what I called my business before to what I call my business now, which is niche intelligence, came as a result of my postgraduate degree in coaching, and at the same time doing an online course around creating a signature program like this. And my lecturer at the university said to me, "You are an experienced coach. Have been coaching for a number of years," which I had. I mean, at that stage in 2019, I'd been coaching for 17 years. He said there must be a pattern that if you really look closely at how you work with your clients, there must be a pattern that has emerged in terms of the process that you take your clients through. And that was my light bulb moment where I realized that when I was working with my coaching clients, because over the years, more and more people have come to me for marketing coaching. When I was working with my coaching clients, the very first piece of work that we did was actually finding and defining their niche and really getting specific around their core messaging, and then breaking that down into more detailed information that they could give their clients. So it was from that one pivotal moment that my whole business, and certainly how I was describing my business, changed. Similarly, what happened with my previous business was called Market Your Practice Without Spending a Cent. And it is really nice, as an entrepreneur, to have the ability to market your business without spending any money. But a very astute coach that was coaching me at the time said to me that the kind of people that I was going to attract into my business was going to be people who wanted to do things for free, and who wouldn't be able to pay for my services. So again, there was a real disconnect between how I was describing the work that I was doing and then having to say to people, I can teach you how to market yourself without spending a cent, except for what you have to pay me to learn the skills to do so. So, but I don't want to go on and on about you having to find and define your niche and create unnecessary stress, because there are alternative strategies that you can employ. And, some people never find that niche. They never kind of narrow things down, and they are averse to narrowing things down. What is really important is that you do the work to create a powerful personal and professional brand. And you will see as well that if you look around in the coaching industry, some of the top coaches don't necessarily describe, some of the top international coaches don't necessarily describe themselves as anything more than an executive or leadership coach. But over the years, the work that they've done, maybe papers that they've written, some of them have written books, spoken at international conferences, or have held office in, coaching professional bodies. And over the years, they have had the opportunity to build incredibly strong, robust, and well-known international brands. So again, don't get too anxious if the niche work is just starting and not finalized. It may come later, it may not come at all. And I want to encourage you to feel some peace about it, and less stress. And the fact that if you are building a strong, coherent, and consistent brand, this is going to really also stand you in good stead. And remember, again, neuroscience tells us that the most successful and sustainable brands in the world do three things with their clients. Firstly, they engage their client, well, they get their clients' attention. Okay, so somehow they stand out from the crowd. And I mean, some people use really strange gimmicks and it appeals to certain people. You will always find your tribe and the people who will relate to you and the way that you come across. So the first thing is that successful brands get their clients' attention. Secondly, through consistent visibility, they remain memorable. And thirdly, they engage the emotions of their clients. So you feel like with this particular personal professional brand, you're in safe hands. You can rely on them. You can trust them. These are all kind of words that people commonly use when they are describing the brands that they like, for example, on the supermarket shelf. And, I always know what I'm going to get from choosing Colgate toothpaste, or I know that I can rely on, such and such a supermarket for, or grocery store for top quality fruit and vegetables. And I'm sure that as I say that, there's something that comes to your mind. But as a last word, think of the fact that the world's population is in the multiple billions. And even in your country, there are millions and millions and millions of people in your country. Now let's take a step back. How much capacity do you have in any 1 week to work with a certain number of clients? So there, if we take an 8-hour working day, your maximum number of clients that you could see for an hour would be 40. But I'm quite sure that if you actually took the figure of what it is that you want to earn and divided that by the number of hours that you want to work, you would be somewhere between the 20 and 40 mark in terms of the number of clients that you need to work with. And if you aren't, then maybe you need to up your fees a little bit and value yourself a little bit more. So we actually, when you think of it, all these billions of people out there, millions of people in your country, you only need a really, really small handful of them on an ongoing basis to be flowing in and out of your sales pipeline. So take, a little bit of a load off yourself in terms of how many people you need to attract to work with you. You only need 20 or 25, 30, whatever that number is. It's not that daunting a task. We do not have to appeal to everyone. We just have to find the right people for us and build the relationships and get recommendations and testimonials from them. So you need to be filling your pipeline from the back as people are transitioning out the front end of your pipeline. And I can hear you thinking, yeah, okay, but how do I do that? And my answer is by taking one action at a time, one brand building action at a time, one step at a time, by committing to showing up on a consistent and regular basis. And most importantly, committing to building relationships so that people do learn to trust you, so that people see that you offer value, that you are a subject matter expert, and that they will, if they're putting themselves in your hands, they're putting themselves in good hands.